Hello, my friends. Finding yourself comfortable in a seat, soften your shoulders outward along the length of your arms toward your hands. Feeling a quiet rain touching the top of your head. Feeling it soften along the front of the body. It relaxes your face. Feel it soften down your throat. Your chest releases downward as it empties of tension. This releases your arms outward, softening along their length. The neck continues to release, allowing the head to float upward. This soft rain flows down, relaxing your abdomen, the fronts of your hips, your thighs, softening your knees, flowing down the front of your lower legs to the top of your feet and down into the earth. If you'd like, rest your hands comfortably on the fronts of your thighs. Again, a gentle rain falling from the sky, touching you on the top of the head, feeling it flow down the back surface of the body, emphasizing a release of the nape of the neck, again allowing the head to float upward, softening that space between the shoulder blades, the middle of the back and the lower back. Weight dropping down to the sitting bone, sinking all the way through the body into the chair, releasing the glutes, the backs of the legs, the space behind the knee, the calves, this water flowing down across the heels, down into the earth, a meter into the ground. Again, fresh chi falling from the sky, touching the top of the head. This time it flows down the lateral sides of the body, softening the temples, releasing your jaw. Shoulders release, this fresh, clear chi flowing down the arms. From the upper arm, allowing the elbows to sink, feeling heavy, as this fresh, clear chi flows down to the hands, softening the palms and the fingertips, remaining completely relaxed. From beneath the arms, softening the rib side, lateral aspect of the abdomen, sides of the thighs, past the knees to the lower legs, sides of the feet, and again down into the earth. One final time. Fresh, clear chi falling from the sky, touching the top of the head. Feel it wash down behind the eyes, down through the center of the throat, pouring down into the chest. Washes down over each of the internal organs, through the chest cavity, through the upper abdominal cavity, through the belly, down through the center of the hips, center of the legs, all the way down through the middle of the feet, and again down into the ground. A meter below your feet, And then your awareness gently returns back into that space just behind the navel. Making gentle circles around the belly button with your palms, feeling the warmth soaking in. Take your time. Your awareness gently resting beneath your palms, nourishing your internal organs. Your belly growing softer and softer. Changing directions when you're ready. Your awareness resting quietly inside your body, softening your breath. As your belly relaxes, it helps to soften your lower back. Remember to allow your chest to remain empty, your upper back to be soft, although your hands circle, your shoulders remain relaxed. And that softness spreads from the shoulders, past the elbows, into the hands. Feel that softness and warmth soaking into that space behind the navel. Sliding your hands around the waist, resting on the lower back. Gently begin sliding your hands up and down along the lower back. Gently opening along one side and then opening along the other. Always maintaining that sense of length through the neck to the top of the head. Always releasing the neck. The shoulders remain soft and sunken out toward your fingertips. Feel your shoulder blades release down your back, one side and then the other. Your waist is soft, your hips are relaxed, feet gently touching the ground. Smaller and smaller movements coming back to center. Hands gently sliding around, once again to cover the navel. Awareness sinking deep to the navel. Your mind is quiet. Your breath is comfortable. Hands settling just in front of the pelvis as a bit of feedback to help remind you to keep that connection between the thighs and the hips soft. Rolling around. Because you're seated, it's not quite so easy to allow your tailbone to create a circle as though when you're standing. So in this case, as your tailbone makes that circle in both directions, it tilts the rest of your body, allowing a gentle spiral to travel up the length of the spine. Continue to soften the hips, the legs, and the feet. Releasing the lower back, smaller and smaller movements. hands resting comfortably on your thighs, begin to allow comfortable movements to travel up along the length of the waist, softening one side of the waist, then the other, the lower back and belly, front of the spine, the back of the spine. For balance, if you need to, of course, you can allow your hands to continue resting upon your thighs, keeping the center soft, the hips soft. As the neck continues to release, the crown of the head continues to float upward, both directions. Chest remains released and empty. This will help your lower back soften. Coming back toward the center. Releasing through the solar plexus, the full length of the upper back and spine. Beginning to release your neck as well as the rib side. Gentle circles, emphasizing a softening of the upper back and spine. Both directions. Releasing one rib side, then the other, the solar plexus, the mid and upper back. The neck remaining soft and long throughout. And then softening your neck in a full circle, starting very small. Of course, for the camera, I make the movements a bit exaggerated to be easy to see. But take your time, gently exploring the space within your neck. If you find yourself running into a difficult space, make certain that you don't press into that area. If it's especially noisy or difficult, go very slowly and gently. You may find that you are able to discover a new way through that path, rather than simply pressing into the obstruction. Comfortable circles, allowing the full length of the spine to join in, and then returning to center. Take your time rolling in the opposite direction. The initial circles can be the size of a small coin, a centimeter around the circumference of the circle. Please take your time. With each rotation, with each circuit around the circle, you are softer and then even softer. The more relaxed your shoulders become, all the way down to your hands and fingertips, the more length there is along your neck, and the more effortless it becomes to rotate. As though you revolve around a center, spiraling along the length of the spine. Returning to center, take a moment, soften down, allow your hands to return and your awareness to return to that space beneath the palms. Softening forward and over the top, rolling up. Take the time to release the length of the back from the side, softening over the top, all the way around the circle. Take your time. Shoulders opening, feel your chest soften open. This allows your palms to turn forward. Your upper back opens. This allows your palms to turn backward. Not because you are rotating your shoulders on purpose. You're welcome to keep your hands on your thighs if that makes you feel more stable. But if you'd like to, of course, you're welcome to allow your hands to remain soft by the sides. Allowing your shoulders to remain soft. The elbows continue to hang outward toward the hands and fingertips, which are soft. As you release forward, your chest empties and softens downward. As you open the front, it's as though the back releases even further, shoulder blades descending down the back. Smaller and smaller movements, taking your time. Breath is normal, just let it be natural. Returning to stillness, whole body is relaxed. When you're ready, one hand softening outward, away from the shoulder, keeping the shoulder released as you rotate your waist to look behind you, as far as you're feeling comfortable and your chair allows. As you release your hand down, the shoulder, the chest, the waist, all relax. One hand moving behind your back, resting gently on your lumbar. A gentle reminder to keep the lower back soft and open. The other hand, as it floats outward and upward, continue to lengthen and soften through the shoulder, the neck. Even though it seems as though you may be lifting your chest in this movement, you're simply gently opening your front and then returning to neutral as your hand descends down your body. Always letting go in between movements. One side, releasing your waist, softening along the front, softening along the back, and then again, releasing the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, the chest, the waist, and then all the way back to neutral. Always returning to a neutral point in between each repetition. Gently opening the spine, softening downward, returning to neutral. lengthening outward, shoulder is released, chest and upper back soft, the neck remains long, the head always feeling as though it's floating. The waist is soft, the hips are relaxed, all the way from your fingers to your toes, letting go, returning to neutral between every repetition. Twisting your waist. Not twisting your hips, not twisting your shoulders. Everything remains comfortable and open. Maintaining softness of your hands, of your feet. Your face is relaxed. Your breath is neutral, just allowing it to move how it needs to move. Hand resting behind the head, turn your waist, soften your front, soften your back. And then from the top to the bottom, release your fingertips, your wrist, your elbow, your shoulder, your chest, your waist, all the way down. A little softer with each repetition. A little more effortless. Take your time. Keep your movements gentle and open, maintaining the sense of length along your spine, which comes from softness, not from pulling or pushing on your body. Practicing letting go. Hips remain facing forward, while your navel turns to the side. All the way down, releasing your body, and then returning your awareness to the center, sinking down. Warmth of your palms soaking into the dantian, that space just behind the navel in front of the spine. Allowing your attention to accumulate there. Softening up and down along the body. Palm rotating out and in. Shoulder blade sinking down the back and up. And most importantly here, the chest empties and gently lifts and sinks. One side and then the other. The shoulder always remaining soft. The hands soft. The neck is long so that the head floats up. Folding and unfolding the chest and abdomen. Gently. This movement is slightly easier than this movement, the white snake traditional, while you're in a chair. Both are very helpful to soften and open the chest and upper back, turning the waist, releasing the neck. Shoulders are soft and the shoulder blades sink down the back. massaging along the center line of the front of the body. Always returning to the center when you're finished, sinking down to the level of the navel, letting go. Your body-mind becoming quiet and still. Softening your hips and knees and feet. Opening along the front of the body, softening open. Release your shoulder, your neck stays long, the head floating upward, turning your waist. Keeping the shoulder soft, rotating as best you can along through the waist, twisting the waist, hips remain facing forward, floating over the top of the head, the shoulder continuing to soften long, and the same on the other side. Maintaining a comfortable, natural breath, not trying to control or manipulate the breath in any way. Allow your hands to become softer with each repetition. Softening your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. The right side closes toward the left side, opens away, turning the waist. Right side closes to the left and then opens again. One side and then the other. As your body spirals and swirls, allow your mind to remain centered and quiet throughout. Allow your weight to continue sinking down into the chair, completely released out of your body. Free and effortless movement. Continuing to follow these important postural relationships. Feeling opening and closing, effortless release, and a quiet mind. taking your time, always releasing outward along the length of the circle, softening from center of your spine all the way out through the shoulder, through the elbow, through the hands, as though your arms are releasing outward, lengthening toward the horizon. Softening long. Continuing an effortless release through the waist, through the hips. As your hips soften, feel your knees lengthening away from your hips, effortlessly softening down through your ankles and your feet. Enjoying the spirals. Always returning to center, to quiet the mind, keeping your hands and feet warm if you need to. Allow this moment to become your softest and most peaceful moment. Completely grounded, letting go. Taking a moment to enjoy some spontaneous release, moving in any way that feels especially comfortable, listening to your system to find out what it needs the most. Perhaps it's a release of the wrists or the arms, but do listen to your body to find out what comes out. When your mind wanders off, simply bring it back to the present moment. Returning to center whenever you're ready. It can be nice to explore movements that include the full length of your spine, your arms, the release of your neck, softening of your hips and legs. Remember that you do not want to focus your awareness upon your areas of tension or pain, because wherever you place your awareness tends to allow that quality to increase, and so often it is better to become very aware of the areas that are the most soft and full of ease, and then allow those areas to expand and influence the rest of your body. Becoming quiet and full, soft and energized, taking your time. Returning to center when you feel ready. Always pausing long enough to allow your mind to become quiet and your body to become as soft as it is able. Begin moving into the next free-flowing expression. Turtle drinking chi, moving as though you're a turtle coming out of its shell. It can be first nice to release the spine in this way, softening the neck, the upper length of the spine, softening the front of the body and the back of the body. Gentle rolling circles. Moving now into the larger movement, comfortably resting your hands on your thighs to help you feel supported and stable, releasing down, softening at the hip joint, releasing the lower back and hips, the glutes, softening downwards so that the tailbone points behind you, and then lifting upward gently, supporting yourself so that you are not using your lower back to lift you. Do not add tension. Rather, find a way to lead with the top of the head and the nose as you lift upward. There is a way through to make the movement effortless so that your lower back can remain soft throughout the movement. And when you're finished, again, sinking everything down, keeping your hands and feet warm, you can swallow any saliva that may have gathered during the practice, and imagine that you feel it sinking all the way down to the dantian. The body-mind quiet and soft. Leading with the fingertips, lifting up, softening the wrists, then release fingertips, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, the waist, the hips, the knees, feet. Softening along the lengths of the arms, allowing the spine to become long, and then releasing downward through the body, down into the ground. And as though you gather up the earth, feel it float up to nourish the lower back and belly, and then return to neutral between every repetition. Softening the hips, the knees, and the feet. Moving in whatever way feels comfortable, front or side. It depends upon your chair, your comfort and level of stability where you are. Find what works for you. The goal being to soften the spine long, upward, and then down. Through the body. As though sinking down into the earth. Then gathering that earth up to the back, to the navel, and the space behind. Spine grows long, neck is long. Soften the fingertips, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, the chest, the abdomen, the hips. Pouring down through the body, as though gathering up along the lengths of the legs. Don't pull your chest and shoulders up. Instead, allow it to circle behind and then forward. All the way down. Anything that no longer serves you, mental or physical tension, just releases into the earth, and then that sense of quiet stability of the earth flowing back up, nourishing your center. Always returning to the center when ready, taking your time. And then when you're ready, giant snake shaking its tail, the hips remaining in the center, gently twisting the length of your spine. It's as though your navel turns away from that opposing hip, creating space between the opposite hip and the navel. Keeping your chest and shoulders released, releasing outward along the length of the arms toward the hands. You can also pat the tops of the shoulders, and the opposite side along the lower back and hips, depending of course upon the kind of chair you're sitting in. Do this slowly enough so that it feels comfortable and relaxing. Not strenuous, certainly not uncomfortable. Always relaxed and comfortable. Always returning to the center as usual, with every movement, taking the time to release any kind of tension that may have gathered during the practice. You can float your hands in front of your navel if you like, as though there's a sense of warmth and connection between the palms, the navel, and the space behind. Or you can simply cover your hands on top of your belly button. As though your whole system grows more and more quiet with each passing moment, as though falling asleep. When you're ready, again warming up your hands, drawing fresh chi and blood into the palms and fingertips. Allowing that warmth to spread into the face, behind the eyes, the ears. Take your time to study all of the various massage methods that we recommend at the end of any Qigong practice. Scrubbing the neck. You'll want to find the movements that support your body the best, releasing any spaces that need a bit of extra help. Softening from the shoulders, along the arms, a little bit of self-massage, relieving any tension there. Softening outward toward the fingertips. Massaging the chest, helping it to sink and empty. Along the rib side and waist. Scrubbing just beneath the level of the ribs, the sides of the abdomen. Warming and massaging the solar plexus, just above the navel, and then scrubbing the navel itself, allowing the palms to warm and nourish that space. Massaging along the pelvic line and hips, any space that needs extra attention. For our purposes, of course, you're welcome to spend as much time as you like on the lower back. And if you have a friend to help massage your upper back, or you have a tool that you can use, please do include that in your practice. Scrubbing up and down and side to side, keeping your neck and shoulders soft. Releasing the hips, the thighs, gentle shaking and massage. Circling around the knees. Especially if you are in a chair a lot during the day, please do spend extra time helping to keep the legs healthy. Massaging down the lower legs. The space behind the knee is also wonderful to spend extra time on, all the way down to the feet. Down the outside, up the inside. If you can't reach your feet, it's okay to brush from the hips to the knees, and then from the knees back up to the hips. Just vigorous enough to help fluid circulation. Same on the arms. Up the outside, down the inside. Releasing from the shoulders to the fingertips. All the while, your neck is soft, your head floating upward. Spend as much time releasing your legs as you need. Shaking your body from your feet out to your hands. Always comfortable. Always gentle. Never do anything that injures or shakes or damages your body. Everybody is different. And always returning to center when you're finished. Thank you very much. Enjoy your practice.